Today we're going to talk about vaccinating puppies. There's a couple of theories on vaccinations. Look at these little guys here. And the theory goes this. You got something called vaccinations, which means you give them a partially live, modified live dead virus or whatever. Then, and I think this is, I can't read it right now to see if it's what weight this limit goes up to, but well, I know for a fact that these shots go up to 25 pounds. So what I want to talk about is what we do. You got something called vaccinating your puppy, which is basically giving it this shot, this 5-in-1 canine distemperament shot and canine distemperament adenovirus type 2 parainfluenza, whatever. But we've only actually ever had to really worry about parvo here. So what I want to talk about is how we give our shots. I'm gonna let y'all in on a secret. So if y'all watching this video, y'all about to learn a secret and a tip. One thing I want to say is you got some people that believe in don't give the puppy shots, let the puppies learn how to, you got your fingers in front of the lens, learn how to do it, learn how to basically fight the shots on their own. Fight the viruses on their own. But that's what you would call herd immunity, where they're exposed to the virus and they gotta fight it off themselves. Then you have a person like me that believes in multiple vaccinations. So what I want to say is what we do is we give multiple vaccinations. But what we do is what's something I call inoculation vaccination. So inoculation means you take a small amount of basically a chemical or something that you are allergic to or poisonous to you, like a snake venom or something that you eat that just gives you allergies. And every day you expose yourself to, or periodically expose yourself to, a small amount. So what I do is, hey buddy, what I do is I give a vaccination every 2 weeks. And what I do is, instead of giving the full vaccination, I will actually break this vaccination down in half, which brings me to another controversy theory that I personally believe in and just want to talk about. So a lot of people are against these shots and different things in different places because these vaccinations, because they feel like it causes disorders in dogs, nerves disorders, allergies, or different things, because you're giving a virus into the bloodstream and the body is reacting to that. If you think about a virus or a bacteria, there's certain ways you can get it. You know, normally you touch it or sniff it or it get in your body through your mouth and have certain processes. It wouldn't necessarily just be injected straight into your blood. Also, it's all about a thing about how your body reacts to that. And if you think about it, you constantly being bombarded with this stuff. You get hit with these vaccinations and it can cause an adverse reaction in your body or in the dog's body that leads to a neurological disease later on, mental illness, etc., etc. I'm a firm believer in that. And then there's some people that say, like I said before, herd immunity, don't use vaccinations. But this is what I have to say to kind of dispute the don't get vaccination things. One, we have the science to help fight these dogs. And once these dogs are 1 year old, they're not affected by the parvo virus. The theory behind herd immunity and giving vaccinations is you'll create something called superbugs or superviruses, or viruses that are immune to vaccines and antibodies or whatever, or antibiotics, different things like that. But parvo is a disease that definitely, if it affects a dog, it'll kill it real fast. So the dog doesn't have a chance to create immunity to it. So, you know, you have man-made conditions that create these viruses, and then you have man-made solutions that help fight them. One thing I can say is once you give this to the dog, it gives it a chance to learn how to fight the virus. And once the dog is 1 year old, it's going to be exposed multiple times to the virus, but it will have immunity to different strands or different types. I've never seen a dog over 1 year old or over 9 months old catch parvo. But let's get to another point. So this shot is actually good for a 25-pound dog. None of these dogs are 25 pounds. We just weighed them the other day. The largest one is 7 pounds. So we're actually going to split these shots in half. And instead of giving one dog a whole one, we give them a half. So what I call that vaccination inoculation, which means I'm slowly just giving them little pieces of the virus, and their body's reacting to it and reacting to it and reacting to it. It saves me on money, and it also gives the puppy a chance to kind of just a small amount of this virus instead of bombarding it with enough for a 25-pound dog onto a dog that may be 4 pounds, a dog that may be 3 pounds. Think about it. You can give these viruses to a 3-pound dog, a 4-pound dog, 5-pound dog. It's just one size fits all, one shoe fits all, and that's not good. Another thing I want to say is we get our shots from Tractor Supply. You can order these shots in mass online, but what I found is the shipping on these, when they ship them out, they ship them any old kind of way. They might get to you warm, they might get to you ineffective, and there's nobody monitoring the shipping of this product. We get them from Tractor Supply, and I'm just hoping and praying and thinking that there is a procedure to make sure that the vaccines that go to Tractor Supply are never out of temperature or never compromised. It's in Tractor Supply best interest for their puppies to survive, because a surviving puppy comes back for shampoo, comes back for dog feed, and also comes back as a lifelong customer. And also, if something happens to the puppy, and the puppy was given a shot from Tractor Supply, then they would then be an investigation like, hey, how are these shots being brought in? This is a female tri with a little spot. This is Ivy. And let me get Big Boy one time. This is Big Boy. So you can do this yourselves, guys. You got one sterilized solution. What I do is I take the needle and I put it inside of here, and I apply pressure. Then I pull the needle down to a little bit, and then the pressure just pushes the fluid back in by itself. Then I do the same thing here. You got a dry substance, which is an active virus or semi-active virus. The virus could be alive. I don't really know the full scope of if the virus is alive. You put it in, you shake it up, then you push it down, and you pull it out. And what I'll do is I'll use another needle, and I'll give the puppy half of whatever's in here. So this is 1 milliliter, so I'll give it 0.5 milliliters. Another thing I want to say, if you use, certain shots from the wrong place, it can possibly give the dog parvo if the dog has a compromised immune system due to worms. So make sure the dogs are properly dewormed. And on here, it definitely says start the shots at about 2 to 3 weeks after the first shot or whatever. But basically, you just want to make sure that, your dog is protected. So, like I said, I'm going to break it all down real fast. Break the shot down in half for dogs under 25 pounds. Break it in half. I started 2 weeks, and then I just go in every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. I can up it from a 5-in-1 to a 10-in-1 to 11-in-1 to a 12-in-1. And that's the method I use. Also, I deworm correctly. And also, when the dog reaches the full weight of 25 pounds, I will give a dog a full shot. And you apply the shot like this. You give it to the fat. Some people like to hold it like this and push it to the fat. Some people like to give it into the rump. But I just always give them here. And I don't have any problems with parvo at all. And you also got to spray and sanitize your kennel with a sprayer to make sure that nothing is passed along. Thanks for tuning in.